Yeah, my name's Dave Goldberg. I am the Director of Growth Marketing at FormAssembly. People always ask, what do we do? We build forms, obviously, but it's certainly more than that. We provide a data collection platform so our customers can collect, connect, and secure their data with ease. Basically, so I hadn't worked with DemandScience, wasn't as familiar. So when you step into a new role, what you kind of start doing is you start taking inventory and stock of who are the vendors we're working with, what are the programs we're running, what types of results, budgets, all of that thing. So, it was good to kind of get my foot in the door with the DemandScience team and start, looking at these content syndication programs. And like I said, I've worked with content syndication vendors in the past. I think one of the things that I noticed off the bat where I decided to continue the relationship was really the service. I think there's this notion of like when you work with outside vendors that they work for you. Like we tell you guys what to do or dictate and that's it. I see vendors as partnerships and you guys are just as much as an extension of the growth marketing team as you were if you were an internal FormAssembly employee. And I rely on your expertise and partnership and suggestions to get us the best business possible or best results possible. I'll say this much. I've been working not just here in other companies. Content syndication is really difficult in terms of these are people that are interacting with our content, but they're still, they're searching, they might have a problem, they're doing some research, but they don't necessarily know who FormAssembly is. So there can be a little bit of that disconnect. You can't just come at people in one direction. And so so with that, it was kind of the light bulb was going off in my head of like, there's always been this challenge of getting people to convert via content syndication. And I think that's when Christian came in the mix of like, hey, we have this display offering. And I was like, it'd be cool. Why don't we retarget some of these people that we have in content syndication with some display ads? And within the certain segments, like, okay, for going after these people, maybe they'll get demo ads and we can get them to bite on a demo. Or maybe we'll show this audience different forms of content. And so I think in this day and age, like obviously this concept of there's so much noise out there, there's so much stuff on the internet, you have to surround the buyers. Display has always been a tricky thing. And actually with DemandScience, it's kind of changed my opinion of it a little bit, what we're doing as they're getting content syndication. So hopefully the light bulb goes out and they're like, oh yeah, I downloaded this and then I was seeing your ads. Maybe I'll go to their website, maybe I'll go to learn more. So it was where things started expanded as I was digging more into the growth marketing side. FormAssembly was how do we connect the dots and really try to create a buyer journey? You have to pay $30,000 for a platform fee and $50 in spend. I have to commit to that off the bat. It's like I need to test. I need to see what's working before I can commit to larger stuff. With DemandScience, I've been able to test and build incrementally and see what works and layer things on versus committing to one solution that's all in that I'm in a contract for. And if a couple months in it's not working, I'm stuck in a contract. And I need flexibility as budgets can change, priorities can change, and I need that flexibility. DemandScience has truly become a Swiss Army knife for us. We started with content syndication, we layered on the display ABM advertising, and now the final piece that we've been using recently is the account intelligence and the intent data through Clarity. I'm using that and working with the growth marketing team as we're designing campaigns and different things to run through content syndication and display to figure out some of the different audiences and segments that we want to target. And where I really like using it is oftentimes when you're dealing with content syndication vendors, you're relaying information back and forth via email, which is certainly one way to do it. And we've done with the DemandScience team in the past. However, I like to be hands-on. I like to be in the system, seeing what buttons can I click, what different segmentations can I find. how do I layer on intent data with what's their install tech that they're using? So, we can look at some of the other technology they're using, their expiring contracts, all sorts of things. So really, it just gives us tons of options and a way for us to design campaigns. So that's where the account intelligence has been great. We're also using it to build our database. So like I said, I love being hands-on in Clarity Engine and figuring out where are some of the gaps are in our database, what types of stuff could we engage these people with. So we're actually building audiences within our Clarity Engine, and then we're exporting them into our database. And we're doing, some warm-up emails, some things just to break the ice with them. And, everything takes time, and that's how we've designed it. Pipeline doesn't grow overnight. And at the end of the day, it's not just pipeline. We're building relationships with these prospects and customers, and it takes time. So, using Clarity Engine to, use the account intelligence and some of the intent stuff to build out specific lists, import them over, start warming up these audiences with relevant content and get them to nurture. So down the line, we're going to get them, further into, hopefully in some sales processes and some sales funnels. And that means like we can really hone in on our segments, our buyers, and our ICPs that I want to help us build out the database that really matches and aligns with our business goals. Working with DemandScience is the flexibility. Growth marketing is not an easy task. Budgets are always changing. Priorities often change. We know the deal. However, working with DemandScience really helps me because I can build incrementally and see success in different areas and build upon that and make adjustments needed, as opposed to being locked into some type of long-term contract a couple months into where things aren't working. My absolute favorite thing about working with DemandScience is the customer service and the people. By having the right partners in place that are trying to help us grow our business and hit our goals on the growth marketing side, that's what we need to be successful. And without the right people and a team that cares, you can't be successful. So shout out to the DemandScience team and their customer service for being top notch. One example of that I'd like to give is, as I've been trying to figure out ways to expand our different programs, we've been very focused on content syndication. However, I was trying to find ways to get some more intel and some more information over to the SDRs. So we actually recently piloted the Pure Push campaign, which gave us the opportunity to not only target the leads we want, to ask specific BANT questions in order to equip our team with intel. So when they get up to bat and they're talking to these people, they have the information they need, the targeting, and everything in place, because my goal is to lay everything out to help make the SDRs as successful as possible. So Pure Push wasn't something I was aware of. And then when it was introduced to me by the account manager, I realized, hey, we got to try that out. And, it's been great to see and watch our SDRs get excited over those leads.